Apple just launched a ton of new products, new AirPods, new Apple Watches, and new iPhones. Rather than bore you with just an unboxing video, I want to give my genuine thoughts and impressions on which iPhone I think you should pick up based off color and usage, battery, and I'm even comparing the anti-reflection to the S25 Ultra. Let's dive right in. Hey everyone, it's Andrew and welcome back to the channel. Today I have the iPhone 17, the iPhone Air, the iPhone 17 Pro, and the iPhone 17 Pro Max. I also have the Apple Watch Ultra 3 here. I didn't get any of the other Apple Watches, and I have the AirPods Pro 3 as well. I guess I should mention the colors that I have. This is Sage. It looks pretty nice. This is Sky Blue. And I gotta be honest, I'm not actually a fan of this color. And this is silver, and honestly, I think it's a little bit boring. And of course, we have Cosmic Orange, which just looks awesome. I think it's definitely the color of the year. And honestly, right away, this is one of my favorite iPhone colors really ever. And if you're considering getting this or maybe silver, like I have here with the Pro, although silver is nice, I think it's a little bit bland and doesn't quite look as good as natural titanium. And I just think orange is different. I really was surprised at this color. Whenever I first opened up the box, my jaw dropped at how good this color looks. And I think it's going to be a lot of people's favorites. Now, I don't have it in blue, but it also comes in blue, which is awesome. And between these two, these are definitely the colors, in my opinion, to get out of, the colors that you're seeing here. Obviously, there's other ones. Now, another thing I want to call out is just how incredibly light and thin the iPhone Air is. And I think the iPhone Air takes the award for the most beautiful premium looking phone this year. The titanium shine is just incredible. And honestly, I just think it's an incredibly beautiful phone. It's so thin, it's hard to pick up on my camera. It feels so good in hand. It's really hard to describe how light it is. It feels so nice. And I actually love this 6.5-inch screen. One thing I want to call out with the iPhone 17 is I instantly noticed the always on display, and the iPhone 17 kind of embarrasses the iPhone 16. I do kind of feel bad for people that upgraded to the iPhone 16 because of how much better it is. Now, Apple still sells this, and just really, if you're considering buying the 16, I would honestly just go with the 17. The colors, I think Sage looks just as good as teal. I really like the Sage color, but on top of that, you get a way better display. So this is a 60 hertz refresh rate display. This is 120 hertz. You get a lot more peak brightness with this. It's better for outdoors. There's been camera improvements to the back camera and to the selfie camera. For $100 more, you're getting a better display, better camera, better battery. And I would honestly just consider getting the 17 over the 16. Now, when it comes to the change to aluminum, I already have a little bit of concern. And the reason being is, if I look at my iPhone 16, that's also aluminum. I dropped it a few times last year, and let me put this down really quick. And you can actually see some scratches and scuff marks here. And we already have people that have dropped it, and this is Siobhan. If you watch his channel, he makes amazing content. He dropped the Cosmic Orange on concrete. It was a pretty bad drop, and this just looks awful. So if that concerns you, then you're going to want to get a case, which leads me to today's sponsor, CaseCube. That's why I recommend the Titanium Magic 360 from CaseCube. First off, it's a perfect match. CaseCube nails vibrant colors, and their lineup matches the new iPhone 17 colors beautifully. Just look at how it matches the Pro Max. You have Cosmic Orange, and if you got the blue iPhone, Deep Blue, very well. Everything is engineered for a flawless fit. Every button, every port, every feature lines up perfectly. It's great in hand and has a nice grip. They also have cases for the Air as well as the 17, and I really like them as well. Second, the feature I love most is the 360-degree magnetic stand. And if you're someone like me that watches a lot of YouTube or listens to podcasts, or even just likes to have their phone standing up, this is actually a really great feature to have. And finally, protection. Just like I said with the iPhone 17 and 17 Pro being aluminum, it could definitely get damaged easily. And Case-Q has a very protective case, as well as a semi-covered lens for the frame of the camera. The reinforced shield makes sure your iPhone gets extra protection where it's needed most. So if you're picking up one of the new iPhone 17 models, make sure it's protected with the titanium Magic 360. Honestly, you're going to want to get a case for this phone. The link is in the video's description and the pinned comment below. Now, when it comes to the top 3 flagships, I do want to call out which camera I think looks the best, and I was leaning towards the Pixel. I think the new plateau camera on the 17 Pro Max wins it for me. And so now I'm gonna say the iPhone looks the best in terms of pro design. Now, all of the new phones have a somewhat anti-reflective display, so it doesn't look too bad. But let's compare it to the S25 Ultra. So here's what the 17 Pro Max looks like, and you can see it's kind of close, but the Ultra definitely dims out, has a better anti-reflection. One thing Apple did this year that I do find incredibly annoying is bringing back the MagSafe battery pack, but only it being compatible with the Air. So you can buy this, it's $9.99. It'll work with the iPhone Air, but it won't work with any other model. It just won't. Now, it might charge depending on the way you have it positioned. The only other phone that this really works with is the Google Pixel 10 Pro XL, which is hilarious. Now, one thing we don't want to forget is if you do go to an Apple store and you just go in and you want to buy the cheapest iPhone, right now they are selling the iPhone 16e, and for $200 more, I know it sounds like a lot, but if you can actually just get the 17 over the 16e, I would definitely do that. So I think the 17 is really the standout phone in terms of value. This starts at $799. And this is gonna be the best phone for most people. This is someone that just wants a really good, solid performing phone with a good display, great for social media, great for using it day to day, and it's really not a bad value. Now with the AirPods Pro 3, my initial testing, a lot of people I saw online saying that the ANC on these were just insanely better. And I honestly didn't notice a difference between them and the AirPods Pro 2 right here. It felt almost the same. I could distinguish instruments a little bit better, but I didn't notice that much of a difference in my opinion. So there might be a little bit of hype to this. I do want to call out there is no Bluetooth button on the back of the AirPods Pro 3. I don't think anybody's really mentioned that. And when it comes to testing it against the AirPods 4 that also has ANC, even though for me these feel a lot more comfortable, the AirPods Pro 3 blow these away. AirPods 4 don't really compete with the AirPods Pro 3, but the AirPods Pro 3 are kind of the same as the AirPods Pro 2. Now, I did test live translation a little bit with my wife. She's fluent in Portuguese. It's in beta, it's kind of noticeable, so it wasn't real time, and I have to test it a little bit more, but this could be a game-changing feature. And really quick with the Apple Watch Ultra, it doesn't look any different from the 1 and 2, but I will say I just switched to the Series 10 a couple months ago, and it feels good to have the Apple Watch Ultra again. So I'll be doing a review of this over time, so make sure to subscribe. Really, I'll be doing a review for all of these, but make sure to subscribe to the channel for that. Out of the phones that Apple's selling, which one honestly would I recommend to buy? And it really depends on your use case. Is price important? Is battery and camera important? Or are just looks and aesthetics important? So hopefully I can answer some of your questions. And if price and budget is super important, I would just go with the 16e, and I wouldn't just buy it outright from Apple. Try and do a trade-in with your carrier or something like that. Save as much money as you can. If you can get this for like $499 or like $450, even $399. I'm not sure if there's any deals like that going on, but this is a pretty solid phone. I used it for about a month over just testing it, and I really enjoyed it. So I would highly recommend it if you need a cheap phone, you don't care about anything else. Again, don't pay full price for it, but it's pretty decent. Now, a phone I wouldn't recommend is the iPhone 16. It's got an outdated display when you stack it up compared to the 17. And honestly, the 17 just embarrasses the 16. So I'll probably make a video comparing the two, because even though they look the same, looks are deceiving in this case. and they are really different. And I've seen a lot of people really excited for the 17, not just because of the display, but also too, it's just an all-around better phone than any regular model that Apple has ever given us. And I feel like a lot of Android users that have kind of joked around with Apple saying, you know, they don't treat their users well. Well, this is a phone that a lot of people, you know, Android users don't really have anything to complain about. Now, when it comes to the iPhone Air, do I recommend it or not? Well, I have to review it and test it, so there's more to come with that. But just my initial reactions to this, like even just holding this with this phone, it is insane how thin and how light it is. And if aesthetic and something new really excites you, it's $999. So the price, even though you're gonna get less battery, even though you're gonna get less camera, obviously it's just one camera, it's a dual system. And by the way, I know a lot of people are gonna think these cameras are the same. They aren't. But honestly, this is a very fun device. I know people love the iPhone mini, so if you kind of fit into that niche category of just wanting to try something new, then this might be the phone for you. Again, this is gonna be one of those phones that I need to test and review, but based off of just my initial looking at it, it's gotta be one of the most beautiful iPhones, if not the most beautiful iPhone that Apple's ever made. And my impression of this too is that it's getting us ready for a folding iPhone. So we're excited for that. And then when it comes to the Pro or the Pro Max, I'm actually kind of surprised at the weight this year compared to the titanium. Like this feels heavy, like the Pro Max feels heavy, but the Pro, it's a 6.3 inch display. It feels somehow heavier. I don't know how. Maybe it's because the length of this kind of takes away all of the heaviness on the top. This just feels very heavy for such a small phone. And I don't think I like it. I got both this year just to try out to see which size I would prefer, and I really don't like it. And also too, it's a good year to decide to get a Pro or Pro Max. One, it's a new camera design, so obviously the phone looks completely different. And I think the new design looks great. I know in renders and people were really nervous about how it's gonna look, but I think it looks awesome. And I'm really excited just to try this out day to day. Most importantly, and why I would get this one is because of battery improvements and camera improvements. So battery is supposed to be way better than the 16 Pro was. There's supposed to be better battery across the board for this entire lineup, which is great. Now, battery is not going to be great for the Air, but again, the Air is not really for that. In simple terms, if you want just the cheapest but best iPhone you can get the 17. If you want the aesthetically cool new, look at my new toy kind of phone, I would get the Air. If you prefer a smaller Pro experience, get the Pro. And if you want the best battery, best camera, best everything, get Cosmic Orange and Pro Max. I highly recommend this color. Honestly, it looks great. It's surprisingly beautiful. And this is probably my favorite thing about the entire lineup. Even more, I thought I was gonna be more crazy about the Air, but this just steals the show for me. All right, guys, so again, a lot of reviews gonna happen. This is just initial thoughts and impressions. The aluminum really does scare me, so make sure to check out CaseCoo. As always, guys, thanks for watching, God bless, and I will see you on the next video.